Hey everyone, welcome to this week's episode of Bushnell Presents Prairie Pursuit. I'm your host, Greg Toogood. This week, Jacob and I are heading north to our favorite hunting ground with our bows on an archery elk hunt.
Bushnell presents Prairie Pursuit, brought to you by Bushnell Canada. Never miss. Hornady, accurate, deadly, dependable. JB's Sausage Supply. Visit jbsausagesupply.com. North Pro Sports, performance archery and arms. Trail Runners K9 Training Center and Labrador Retriever Dogs and Puppies. Holt Lake Lodge Adventures.
So we got into camp, we got out our bows, and we got a little bit of practicing in right away.
My name is Jacob Toogood. I'm 16 years old, and I have been hunting since I was 3 years old with my dad. I really started shooting my bow once I turned 12. When I was first learning how to shoot, I always made sure that I was shooting a range of distances and getting comfortable with all of them. And if there was one that I wasn't as confident with, I would always go back and shoot more at that distance. And the main thing for me was shooting out of a blind or out of a tree stand and making sure I know my distances in the area that I'm shooting in.
I've elk hunted for a lot of years. It's my favorite animal to go after. They're elusive. We've always called them ghosts. And I've been trying to get an elk with my bow for years. It's time consuming. You gotta put in a pile of time. Every night and early morning at camp, there's always that discussion, where are we gonna sit, where are we gonna go, where are we gonna walk? Whether you flip a coin or you go with your gut, we tried the stand for the first couple nights, and we saw absolutely nothing. We decided to switch gears and head into a different spot. A ground blind that we had set up, that we had covered in really well. It seemed like we were very well concealed. There wasn't anything that was going to be coming from behind us. And anything that decided to come into that field that we could see was going to give us a pretty decent shot.
It's dead calm. There's not much. There's the odd bird coming by, but there's not much going on.
We're in an area where there are elk, but just not a lot of them.
There are not as many elk in the area that we're hunting, and we're hunting a very small piece of land, and we just enjoy our time there. And if we don't get anything, it has happened before, and it's not too big of a deal. But some years we do, and some years we don't.
One of the nice things about being in the ground blind is that you're out of the elements a little bit. And in a tree stand, you can you're very exposed, and the tree stands that we have, we're exposed anyways. You're just in the wide open, very good view. You can see a lot coming from all different angles, but when the weather was bad, maybe it's wind or maybe it's rain, and we knew there was rain in the forecast, and we had one heck of a storm one night.
First raindrop. Get rained on pretty good. We're right there, and the rain's coming right for us.
So for the first 3 days, we sat and sat and sat, and we went through some storms and rainstorms and crazy winds.
Dad and my grandpa, they've had good luck in the rain before, and I've shot a few elk in the rain. Maybe tonight, hopefully, because it has been pretty hot. So they might come out in the rain if it cools things off. We'll see. Scared away.
I think we're safe in the ground blind. We'll stay dry anyways. Hopefully we don't get zapped.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll get zapped.
So for the elk hunting that we do, it's a lot of sitting, and there's not much walking. You have to be very patient. You'll sit 5-6 days without seeing an animal, and it's very tough, but we know they're there, and we get the opportunity.
All right, so that storm's gone by.
It's definitely tough when you're sitting in a blind for many hours each day, and you're not seeing anything. But usually when we go, we have a certain time when we're staying, and we're not gonna pack up halfway through the trip just because we're not seeing anything. We're just gonna wait it out and hope that it happens.
It was dead quiet. We could hear the odd elk bugle way in the distance, so that we knew that there was some calling going on. We were hopeful that one of them was going to cross paths, that the stars were going to align for us to get on an elk on this hunt.
Pretty excited. Listening to something in the bush right now. Can't tell what it is. Yeah, there's a little bit of everything in here for animals. Bears, deer, elk, moose. Seems as soon as it hits August, they disappear. And then November, November comes around, they're back. So for those 10 months of the year, 9 or 10 months, I guess, they're here. And then when hunting season comes, they're gone. They move to the pasture where they're safe. I guess they know that. I got my first elk here, my grandpa, a couple years ago. And that was pretty cool. I did have a chance to shoot at a cow elk with my bow too, but didn't capitalize on that. Don't need to go over that anymore. Just been coming here the last few years trying to get redemption for that moment. Hopefully it happens this weekend. It'd be nice. Didn't see a thing. We did hear something in the bush, what kind of sounded like an animal raking his antlers on a tree. It didn't sound like a woodpecker. It kind of sounded like somebody banging a stick on a tree. And that really probably would explain it being an elk.
For me, I call an elk a ghost because you very rarely ever see them. Like when you're sitting in a blind, you'll see a deer here and there, or a bear here and there, or a coyote or something. And when you see an elk, you're normally going to be shooting. And the chance of seeing one, and compared to how many we've actually gotten, is very low.
We weren't seeing any wildlife at all. Enjoying the time in the stand as usual. And there was definitely part of me was thinking, okay, yeah, this is just another archery elk hunting trip, going home empty-handed.
My dad always told me stories about how when he was elk hunting, he would never see anything, or he went out and sat piles of nights and saw one here and there and never got a chance. And I always kind of laughed and said that that I would get one before him, and it actually happened. We sat and sat and sat, and we went through some storms and rainstorms and crazy winds, and we weren't doing anything. We're just sitting there listening and waiting it out. We were like, wow, might as well bring a game.
This time I brought the crib board out, and I was giving Jacob a hard time about losing the crib game.
Can you tell me what happened here? I smell the skunks. Couldn't make it over this skunk day.
And of course, my dad beat me.
Not having much luck with anything.
And he had always joked about saying elk, 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 and there was never one there. He said elk, elk, and there was one this time. To see that after all the waiting and the years of me waiting to have one step out in front of me with the bow was crazy.
20. 25. Smoked him.
After you take a shot at an animal, it's so tempting to go after it right away.
I smoked him. Can you believe that? He's right there. You still see him? He's still sleeping. Yeah. He's blind. Yeah. He just went down. I think he went down. Can you believe that? I guess you, Jacob just killed a bull elk with his bow and arrow. It looked like a really good shot. Yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, yeah. Oh yeah. I couldn't get a range through the bushes. I finally got it was 25. Well, it's time. We're just gonna leave him. Yeah, we should go. But we're gonna go back to the cabin. Yeah, let's just leave him. No, not yet. We're just gonna sit right here. Okay, so I can't believe what just happened.
I drew back, and my bow does have a little bit of a creep drawing back. There's like a creek, and he just stared right at us.
We couldn't hear any elk calling, but I was just cow calling. And this spike-ball elk ended up walking right down the trail.
And he was looking, I think he was looking for the call.
Yeah, he was looking around.
Just to draw back on something like that was amazing. And when I shot, I knew it was good. I heard the whack, and I stopped, and I was super excited. And the elk, I could see walking in the bush and just kind of disappeared. So I didn't really know what happened.
I saw the arrow go into him pretty good.
Oh, I went right through him.
Yeah.
It's complete bastard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be in the bushes there somewhere.
Unfortunately, there's a little branch just in front of the video footage. I can't tell exactly where the arrow went in, but I think it looked really good. All right, we're pretty excited. We don't want to wreck this park by getting in there too soon. So,
Run back up, do you think, and go back to the cabin? Or what? I don't know what to do.
I don't even know what to do. I think we should sit still for probably another half hour here,
Yeah.
just in case he is still alive and sees us get up here. If he's not too far in, it might still spook him. So let's hang tight.
Yeah, that's a good plan.
Congrats, buddy. So awesome.
So the last time I had a good chance at a elk, we ended up not being able to recover it, and we came to the conclusion that it was because we went after it too soon.
They are a tough animal, and going in after them too quick is a mistake.
The last time I shot an elk, we went after it after I shot it, and we never did find it because we heard it jump up. And this time the shot is quite a bit better, but we know better than to chase after it. Heard it last light.
You have to give them that chance. You have to give them that time, because if you bump them and they're up, they're gone, and there's a good chance that you're never going to see them again. And we've had that experience in the past.
So we're gonna wait till the morning, and did see him walking in the bush at about 60 yards, like very, very slowly. And it just rained, so everything's gonna be super quiet, so it's really tough to hear him fall down. It was so amazing though, when it came out, we were so shocked. Both of us were shaking so bad. I didn't believe Dad because we hadn't seen the thing all trip, the whole trip.
Yeah.
Well, and I even was like, elk. I was joking doing it earlier.
Yeah.
I did it once earlier. I was just joking around.
Oh,
And-
really?
I didn't believe him.
And then I did it again. It's like never cry wolf, right?
And the other cool part is it's full velvet.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, boy, this is gonna cost me money.
Our first choice was to wait till morning, and our second was to wait a few hours and then go back and get looking for the elk. And just hope nothing gets to him. Nothing should. It's supposed to be super cold tonight. A lot colder than it has been. The coldest night all year, actually. I was laying in bed, and I could hear those coyotes outside the cabin. I'm just like, I can't wait. I'm not gonna wait for the coyotes to go pick at my elk in the morning. It's not gonna happen. There's a lot of coyotes around that are really close, and I would hate for that meat to be wasted. It's been 3 hours, so if he's not down now, he's probably not going to be down. So we're gonna go and see if we can find my arrow and see how much blood there is.
Concerned about losing that meat if it's dead. They might get on it. The coyote's been howling just like crazy out there tonight. We've grabbed all our lights, and let's go for a hike, see what we can find.
So we found the arrow. And it is coated. Absolutely.
In bubbly blood.
I have never seen an arrow so covered in blood from tip to tip.
So it was a monster.
Perfect bastard.
The lighted knock, which is supposed to be white, was red.
Yeah. Oh, it's instant blood. Blood.
Okay, so we've got blood on that tree here.
Smart. There's a couple there.
So it was so exciting to track that elk, find that elk, and get the very first elk with the bow in our family that Jacob got. And just to see his smile, to see his reaction, just is absolutely priceless.
This hunt was a hunt I'll never forget. It was a chance for me to go hunting with my dad and try and get something that he had never done before, and obviously I had never done before. And to have a chance at one like that and to recover it for me for once was pretty cool. And to have that meat and the antlers to remember forever.
So this hunt was absolutely incredible. I'm so proud of Jacob for the work that he did from start to finish. The shot that he made, the excitement, to see the excitement that he had when he took a shot and when he got the elk. It was just an incredible, unforgettable experience. Thanks for watching this week's episode of Bushnell Presents Prairie Pursuit. Hope you enjoyed the show.
Bushnell presents Prairie Pursuit, brought to you by Bushnell Canada. Never miss. Hornady, accurate, deadly, dependable. JB's Sausage Supply. Visit jbsausagesupply.com. North Pro Sports, performance, archery, and arms. Trail Runners K9 Training Center and Labrador Retriever Dogs and Puppies. Holt Lake Lodge Adventures.
One in the heart, one in the head. Yeah.
Good job, Ron.
Oh, man.
Awesome. Right on.
Oh! Woohoo! In your field, buddy.